There is a scene in the movie The Holdovers that I want to talk to you about. It's a scene very early on that at first glance doesn't look or seem like much, mostly because it's a scene that centers around a character that doesn't end up being a major part of the movie. In fact, this character is only in the movie for the beginning portion, and then goes off for the rest of its runtime. The scene is very coy in its design and actually exists as a huge piece of foreshadowing for the film's ending. The scene in context centers around all the boys that are having to stay at boarding school for the holidays. They're out roaming around campus one day when one of the punk bully older kids comes up to one of the younger boys and grabs his right glove off of his hand and throws it in the freezing river just to be a jerk. The younger kid, of course, gets angry and frustrated, runs down to the riverside to see if he can find the glove, and of course, he cannot find it. As the boy grows more and more upset, suddenly, the kid grabs his other glove off of his left hand and throws it in the river. Since he didn't have his complete set of gloves, he obviously just gave up in his frustration and didn't want to have any glove at all if he wasn't going to have both of them. There's a shot that kind of stops, then slowly moves up to him and stays on his face for a while as he begins to cry. The sound kind of drowns out and it focuses on his sorrow, just for a minute. It is a moment of reckless abandon out of pure situational frustration. Throughout the course of this movie, the grumpy professor played by Paul Giamatti and the one student that has to remain behind with him and the school's chef for the break begin to bond more and more as the film goes on. And at a certain point later on, when they're bowling, the student asks him about his lazy eye and which eye is it that he should look at when he's talking to him. It's a question that at this point it's clear that he's gotten comfortable enough around his grumpy professor to ask him something like that. The professor cleverly dodges the question, but at the same time isn't offended by it. Fast forward, we get to one of the final scenes of the movie where things have resulted in a not so good ultimatum for our main characters. This is where I connected the dots. This moment when fate and slice of life circumstances have come smashing into one another, the student and the professor see each other in the hallway for a brief moment. His professor turns to him.
It's this one. This is the one you should look at.
And he points to his right eye. This is after he has pulled off his metaphorical gloves with the same type of reckless abandon in the scene previous to this one that results in his life being changed forever. Little moments like this are what make The Holdovers such a special film. They are not only hard-hitting in and of themselves, but the way that they symbolically tie into other little parts of the film in ways you might not even realize when you watch it for the first time, and the way that they tie into the film's themes about inequality and loneliness and longing to be loved and cared for. There is so much subtlety and careful attention to detail and nuance that every time I watch this film, I catch something new. When I saw this film for the first time, I did really like it, but I wouldn't say I was blown away by it initially. However, afterwards, I could not stop thinking about it. It lived in my mind constantly. I have now seen this movie 3 times, and this little bit that I caught in here was not the only thing I caught. The Holdovers is such a meticulously well-crafted slice of life film with wonderful dark comedic feels that take place around the holidays. I should expect no less from the team of Alexander Payne and Paul Giamatti, who already gave me one of my favorite comedies of all time, Sideways, which came out back in 2007. Paul Giamatti absolutely crushes it, as always. He's hilarious. Newcomer Dominic Sessa really holds his own in this film, and I can tell that he definitely has a promising career ahead of him. Divine Joy Randolph, though, she won her Best Supporting Actress Oscar for this role. She absolutely wholeheartedly deserved it. I've seen her in a lot of stuff, and in here she plays a role unlike anything she's played before. It's a calm and collected and nuanced performance. Look, I'm telling you guys, if you have not seen The Holdovers, you absolutely need to watch it. It is a treasure. But also just know that it's not going to be a film for everyone. For me, however, I'm probably going to make this one an annual Christmas watch from here on out. I'm going to give The Holdovers a 9.3 out of 10.